Hey, what's up guys, that's Snake here. This is my review of Uncharted 4. It's very late, but hopefully bear with me. I'm going to go into a few points here, and I hope you really enjoy this review. This is going to be a little bit of a different style for me. I'm really trying to get used to editing my videos and and really trying to critique things as I go. And sorry there isn't no music, but hopefully one day once I really get used to editing my videos on here, I will start editing. But last night in. Let's get to the review, shall we? As far as story of Uncharted 4 is it's still pretty straightforward, but then you do see a more grounded Uncharted game. Not only the fact that you're seeing these amazing adventures, but you do see that some of these adventures do take a toll on Nathan Drake's personal life, whether it's marriage, friends. There's an interesting twist that happens. And then on top of that, as I said, the story is very well told. It's a very enjoyable story, and also the game ends unlike any Uncharted game. Basically, it ends like what you think how Uncharted game will end. Then again, it don't exactly end like Uncharted game. Basically, you definitely do feel that Neil Druckmann it's a big inspiration of the story, because all I gotta say near the end, it does. Most of these scenes does feel like it's been guided by Neil Druckmann, which is, as I said, the dialogue been written so greatly. The action scenes, the acting is very superb and very well top tier of the generation when it comes to motion capture, storytelling, and just full-fledged fun and very addictive story.
What? Huh?
Gameplay wise, the game feels phenomenal to play. It's very fun. It's still that same Uncharted. It's still the same Uncharted gameplay that you know, but yet it's a bit different. But it's more refined here. It feels very fluid. The animations are solid. I have very little complaints, even though sometimes the cup system may not work your way. Then again, that's with typical Uncharted games, and then again, that's with typical platformer games in such of this genre. But this game was still a very blasted climb. You know, you will be doing more climbing than more action scenes. Then again, there are very action scenes. When there are action scenes, it does pick up. But do be expecting to see a lot more platforming than actual. Be expecting to see a bit more platforming. But also, you know, the puzzles are not typically hard. The, it's never take you too long to solve them. They're not technically easy, but they're not really hard. Basically, it never take you too long to figure out how to solve a certain puzzle, how, or you know how which piece connected which piece. We know, like stuff like that. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. I'll say this is not the more elaborate set of puzzles, but it's still very fun. It's still very enjoyable, and also the action set pieces. These are very great and very well paced set pieces. Once these set pieces happen, they happen. They are very they very adrenaline. You will feel like a big adrenaline will rush when these happen, and it feels very proper. Everything just feels so good in this game. I can't really. I got to recommend Naughty Dog that they really stepped up on set pieces. You know, there are not that many, but there are plenty of them that will make you feel like, man, they really did themselves. and yeah, you know, comedy's still here. You know, I'll touch on the gameplay, but you know, the comedy's still here. Also, speaking of gameplay, since there's the action scene right here, the AI feels a lot more advanced now. They will actually take cover. They will actually try to flank you, especially when you're playing on hard difficulties. You really will see it. Just don't be using no cheats, because why cheat the game, especially with this very impressive AI. That was my problem with other Uncharted games, like with basically with 3, hell, and even Last of Us sometimes. That I didn't feel that the AI was very believable, especially when it came to your partner AI. The partner now I gotta say the partner AI in this game compared to other games is so well. It has been fine tuned to the max. I feel this is the next level that this next level of AI that I was really surprised, that I was really just at all about. Not just the action scenes itself was just amazing, just the fact that the AI, how they reacted, especially when you hit an enemy, with let's say if you shoot the enemy at a certain spot, they will react to a certain spot. And when it's time, let's say if your teammate see someone, sometimes they will take them down. Sometimes you will do a double takedown. It's very dynamic. It's very fluid, I really didn't have too much of a problem with the AI in this game. If I say what the most impressive thing, one of the most things that really impressed me with with Uncharted 4 gameplay wise is the AI. As I said, I had more issues with it when it came to Uncharted 3 and a bit of Last of Us, but Naughty Dog really did every day outstanding job with the gameplay and everything here. And also, I'm going to cut to this next part, which is a very important piece part to me. Again, this is what I would say that I really do love about this game. They give you the option, especially with the gameplay, they give you the option to go stealth. And I talked about this in my first video, but I really do love the fact that you can, in most situations, you can actually avoid all the enemies if you can, or you can just stealth kill them. Pretty much just stay in the shadows, stay in this tall grass. Basically, just the freedom. I just feel so great that the fact that they actually refined it and added a bit more depth to the stealth system. It's still not as as super depth as as you may know from other stealth games like Splinter Cell, your Metal Gears, and your Hitman. But it's still a very immersive, yet pretty satisfying, even more satisfying stealth mechanic than any Uncharted game that ever implemented it, and that's something I really appreciated from what Naughty Dog added in, and really we really implemented it. They really did learn some lessons from Last of Us, and I really do love this new stealth mechanic. That's how I mainly do play most of my games. Once they give me the option, I usually go for the more stealth route. So thank you Naughty Dog for really fleshing out this feature. My very first game is a must-buy. I would say this is probably my second favorite Uncharted. It really took me by surprise. I really love how the story progressed. I really love the fact that even though I haven't talked about this in my gameplay review or even my story review, but the environments are huge. Most of the environments are huge. It's still a linear game, but it offers for a lot of free range, more flexibility. The tale between talk about the story between Drake and his brother, their adventure, and also the weight that Nature got to deal with is very compelling. And I gotta say, this is arguably my second favorite Uncharted. It was kind of almost a little bit my first, but Uncharted 2 has a special place in my heart. But this game is definitely a must-buy for PlayStation 4 owners. I couldn't recommend this game enough. Hopefully, I gotta say, this is a great game, and hopefully I did well in this review. I'm gonna get better with my skills later on with this. But more experiment, the more I get better. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Catch y'all later. Peace out. Look for part 2.